basically, I would say you're there, about to be drowned in what's it called, aggressive plectra. It is indeed true that 3 harpsichords playing all the time, constantly, with more or less the same number of notes per beat, creates a very dense sound, which in certain contexts, of course, can be tiring. But that's one of the many things that we have to do here, is to find out, okay, how can we then make that clear? How can we make some passages less metallic, less clear, and makes also so that the listening to it becomes a little bit more relaxed. We are trying in our choice of register to make the music as clear as possible with this typical texture for the D minor concerto that the first harpsichord is a solo instrument and the 2 others often, not all the time, but often are accompaniment. So we switch back and forth between the 2 manuals in order to create this dynamic contrast. And so on, and so on. So passages where I'm the soloist, passages where no one is a soloist, and we just create texture, and then passages where we play more like an orchestra together.
Each of those 3 instruments, they have 3 basic registers, so per pitch we have 3 strings available. But the strings of the second manual here, we can move this batten here, which has little pieces of leather glued on top of it. And now I moved it so the leather touches the string and gives this special effect.
Yeah.
It's called the buff stop. And it's nice to use it in this movement because we have these accompanying chords with the shiny, brilliant sound of the back 8 foot without the leather, and then the soft, lutey sound in the second manual.
They say that Bach was the inventor of the harpsichord concerto, let alone concerto for 2 harpsichord or for 3 and even 4. It's very rare and very special. And I don't know, apart from 1 concerto by Mozart, any other 3 keyboard concerti. So that makes it very special.
Actually, what we have been talking about until now are harpsichord concertos. I actually personally prefer the term concertos with harpsichords, because especially with Bach, there is so much going on in the what we would call the orchestra among the string instruments, which only they have. It's conversation, of course, primarily between 3 players, but in an ideal world, conversation among 8 players. Everyone is responsible and no one is dispensable. If the string playing is not up to the same level of consciousness or flexibility, the whole thing dies. And very often, for instance, it's the viola who's the main voice, because she plays something that nobody else does, which we really, really need to hear. So balancing the whole thing and ideally making it a conversation between 8 individuals, I think is very, very important in this context, no matter what we call the work. that passage there, where they play slower than I do, is what I'm doing, and they play slower rhythms. Most people would probably expect that Menno and Siebe would be listening very closely to what I am doing in order to catch me and to match my rhythm. And we had a point in rehearsal where we just reminded each other that that is actually not how it works. The main players here are absolutely Menno and Siebe, because they have to keep the rhythm absolutely stable. If they start moving, I cannot, there's no way I can fit in my stuff. I need to trust that that one is stable. And you can illustrate it with this paradox. Then the art of good chamber music playing very often is about not listening to each other, but playing your different parts.